Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to episode 50. I had to really look this up. Am I on 49? Am I on 50? When is the podcast party? You may be asking yourselves. That is coming up. I just had a huge debate with myself. Should episode 52 or episode 53 be the podcast party? Episode 53 will be our podcast party. That is coming up. And that's going to be for all of you guys who listen to this podcast. Our party is going to be an extra special thing for you. So keep looking, listening, keep paying attention to any little offer that comes your way relating to that podcast party, episode 53. Now, let's get right here, right now, into the present moment. Episode 50. And today, Friday the 26th of May, is a very important day for me and for you because the doors to my mentorship program are reopening. My mentorship program is a 6-month group mentorship program with lots of personalized one-to-one support. And I open the doors to this program at the moment 3 times a year, in January, February, in May, June, and you're going to see them open again in the autumn, late October. But what's really important, guys, is at the moment, the price and the level of personal support is completely insane. It is £695 or 6 payments of £125. And for that, you get all of this. Are you ready? Are you ready? For just £695, you get me energetically in your corner on your team for 6 months. This includes monthly live coaching calls. We have 2 a month. They are up to 90 minutes. I get everyone in the program to submit questions in advance. I make sure your questions are answered. If you can't attend live, I timestamp when I answer your question, so you don't have to listen to the whole call if you don't want to. You can go in and see when I've answered your question. That said, most people listen to the coaching calls like they will be listening to this podcast because you get access to the replays. They become a really valuable reference library of advice and support within our program, because often the questions that are being asked by other people are the problems that you suffer from too. We have a monthly teaching clinic, and again, I wait for inspiration for those guys on my mentorship program. So the teaching clinics that are coming up in June and July. June, I am doing learning styles and the power of language. So how we can understand how our students learn in different ways, how we can use our language to cater for all those learning styles. That is in June. And July is, we've been talking about inversions. Should I practice? Should I teach shoulder stand and headstand? And this is a huge debate and a topic for another day, but I am addressing that in a teaching clinic and actually going to share how I approach handstand, because I tend to, as an inversion, if I'm going to do inversions with my students, and I want to take a strong one, I actually go with handstand over head and shoulder stand initially, because it just takes out the issues of the neck. But truth be told, I am a little bit, I say little bit, I am a massive scaredy cat when it comes to handstand. I wasn't one of those children doing handstands in my youth. And when I came to it within my yoga practice, it's definitely been one of those poses which has really challenged my belief system that I'm not strong enough to get into it. I can't get into it. I'm going to fall over and really hurt myself. So as a result of that, I know lots of ways of getting yourself into handstand, to approach handstand if you're not feeling even like going upside down, or you're certainly like me, not feeling like having a go at kicking up against the wall or in the middle of the room. So they're the teaching clinics. So there are 3 live calls a month, 2 coaching calls and a teaching clinic with access to the recordings of them. Then we have a community space, which is away from Facebook. I use this wonderful community platform called Circle. And in there are different spaces. There's a space which is a forum where you can ask for help. You can come in there anytime, ask me a question, and I get back to you. But not just that, others in the group get back. We had a really lovely experience about a month ago now. One of the ladies in the mentorship program had put out a post on social media, and she'd had, well, what you want to call it, a troll, someone she didn't know, someone who wasn't on her account, put a really horrible comment. and she put it straight into the group. What should I do? I was like, obviously, delete and block. But what happened was everyone in the program not only commented on that post in the community, but then went over to this teacher's Facebook page and put a really lovely comment on that post. And just to see that support network, it just fills my heart with joy. So there's a forum where you can ask for help. I'm in there helping you all the time, and so are the other teachers within the community. There's also a place where we share our wins, because you know how important it is to share your wins. I've spoken to you guys about that. There's also a place where you can see all the upcoming dates for the coaching calls and teaching clinics, because I tend to move them around each month to try and get at some point live with someone's schedule. And then there are the recording spaces. You can go back and see a 6-month library of all the coaching calls and a 6-month library of all the teaching clinics. And I haven't got anything against Facebook or Facebook groups, but for me personally, I get really distracted when I go into Facebook. I admitted this on the live call for the free load training this week, that if I go onto Facebook, before I know it, whatever the reason it is that I have been on that Facebook app, I am more than likely found watching a story about a rescue dog. Pity Nation. Oh, I mean, I don't even want a pit bull, and they're all in America, but I love watching pit bulls being rescued in America. I mean, that's my problem with Facebook. And I know not all of us suffer from that, but that's why I specifically choose my community spaces away from Facebook for my training and mentoring programs. But also Circle allows you to organize a community into these spaces, so it doesn't feel like everything's happening in one space all of the time. So there's that community space, there's those 3 monthly calls. Then on top of that, you have literally hired me on your team. I personally support you, and the personal support at the price of $695 is insane. So once you come in, I will send you to a questionnaire. This questionnaire literally tells me where you are now. I asked, do you have social media? Do you have a website I can go and have a look at? Where are you now? Where would you like to be? What would you like to, why have you joined this mentorship program? What would you like to get out the 6 months together? And I use your answers to create what I call your unique pathway to profit. And I suggest, like, short term, this is what we can immediately do. Medium term, you might like to start thinking about this. Long term, this is where you could go. This is the pathway of possibility for you to create that profitable, sustainable, impactful yoga business. Now, that pathway to profit isn't like, this has all got to happen in 6 months and this is the only way it's going to happen. It's just a suggestion. And we all have unique gifts and unique skills. I think one of the reasons why I find myself here today talking to you about my mentorship program is I am able to look at someone, whether it's actually energetically across the screen, go onto someone's social media, go onto someone's website, meet them in person and chat to them, and get a feeling, get a sense of actually what would really work for them, and make suggestions that actually leads to them getting success in terms of doing what lights them up, doing what they love, and energetically filling themselves up both in time, freedom, and money. This is just one of the things I hope, because this is what I'm doing right now, the universe has sent me to do. So I use that skill in that pathway to profit. Then there is ongoing personal support, because a community space is great, but sometimes it's so much easier, isn't it, just to pick up your phone and send someone a quick question via voice message. And as you know, because this is why I do my podcast, I love to chat, and I'm much better actually responding to something via voice message, quick response, giving you, some action to that one specific problem, rather than responding to a long email, for example, or sitting on a 1-hour Zoom call, for example. So that's why you don't see lots of 1-to-1 hour Zoom calls in my business model. It's not that they're wrong, that it's just, I know energetically what works for me. As you bring me onto your team, I'm just there in your pocket. You want to ask me something, ask away. So you have that option. If you want to send me something like this morning, I've been checking copy on someone's website, giving them some feedback on that. We've been doing that over email. The other place that could have happened was in the community space, but sometimes you don't want to be sharing stuff that feels a bit raw and unready publicly. So there is WhatsApp voice messaging support, and you can send me stuff via email. And of course, you can go in the community space. So it is a group mentoring program, but it is so highly personalized. It means that I tailor what needs to happen to you, which is so important, because this is how you create a profitable, sustainable, impactful yoga business. You don't go, right, this person told me to do this strategy, and I just follow this, even though it feels completely unaligned and it isn't what I want to do. That is never going to work. I work completely with your unique energy. And that's why I believe I'm getting the success that I'm getting with those that are already in the program. Now, it just doesn't end there. It's not just a community space. It's not just 3 live calls a month. It's just not me in your pocket, in your team for 6 months, personally supporting you. On top of all of that, yes, there is more. There is some self-study aspects to the program, which actually, once you're in, you have ongoing access to those self-study modules, self-study elements. So when our 6 months ends, if you wish it to end, because actually you can, this is a story for another day, you can remain in the community space with access to the live calls and coaching calls for £29 a month, a bit like it then becomes at the end of 6 months, like a monthly membership. But the self-study stuff is a 6-module program. I call it the Prosperous Yogini program. 6 modules. Literally, in these modules, it takes you through everything you need in order to create that profitable, sustainable yoga business. Module 1 deals with your desires, your higher self, your soul purpose, you getting down with the universe, because this is the first place we've got to get to. Module 2 is the mindset, the energy behind you, and money mindset. 2 are related. So just working through those self-limiting beliefs, which will be energetically stopping you from getting where you want to go. And it's not overcoming, but it's actually learning to navigate them, learning to use thought work to carry on, even though your beautiful brain will be saying, you know what, I don't think you're good enough for this. Module 3 in the program is this meaty module, because this is basically marketing, and it's in there. It's in there. Copy, social media, branding, niching, Instagram, Facebook, other places where you can hang out, YouTube, LinkedIn. It's in there. All the ways that you can talk to people are in there. And then module 4 is selling. And selling, as you know, is the end part, that marketing. You've figured out who it is you serve, why you want to serve them, how you're going to talk to them. You've got a clear understanding from module 3 who your ideal dream client is. You've found your rhythm. You found your energy in terms of how you want to talk to people and show up, because at the end of the day, we don't want to be spending hours doing this, because we want to practice yoga probably as well, hang out with our family and do those other things that light us up. But at the module 4 is all about how we sell, and how we sell in a completely ethical way, and the ways that we might be causing friction within the selling process and how we can avoid that. Now, module 5, actually, it's not the most exciting module, but it's one of the really important ones. It is all the admin hats in your business. Most yoga teachers are sole traders. Most yoga teachers are one-man bands in their business. And this means they literally are wearing all the hats. And module 5 takes you through some really smart hacks for reducing your admin load, reducing the time that you spend on all these other hats that you wear in your business. Module 6, my favorite, expansion. Where can I go once I've kind of got to this initial point where, like, I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing on the business front and things are just starting to just happen around me, and I'm like, woo, where can I go to lift the ceiling of my income potential? Where can I go to create more money, more time, more freedom? And in that module expansion, I cover everything from online courses to teacher training, to retreats, to unique workshops, to higher ticket one-to-one packages, to considering whether I want to pursue organic reach with my content marketing, or whether I want to use Facebook ads. And what happens with those 6 modules, it's not like a training course, which is very linear. You start at the beginning of your training course and you work through it all in an order. And at the end, you're ready to teach whatever it is you trained in. Your business don't work like this. The self-paced study program doesn't work like that. It's not a linear program. It's there for you when you're ready to meet it. And the good news is that the access to this self-paced study program doesn't end at the end of your 6 months together. You have ongoing access to this. Not to mention, there are some bonuses. I throw in my 5-part short leverage course, which basically gives you everything you need to set up that online course. I give you the art of teaching yoga. So if you just need a little bit of help, a little bit of confidence and making teaching easier, because although it sounds like predominantly the mentorship program focuses on the business side, yes, that is true. We've got 2 roles as a yoga teacher, the teaching and the business. And I also can help you with that. I've been teaching yoga for 14 years. So I'm happy to help you feel more confident as a yoga teacher, to share my experience of teaching. And that comes from the teaching clinics, but there's also the self-paced study bonus module of the art of teaching yoga, and so much. And my yoga library, which is over 100 classes of vinyasa, yin and hatha style classes of various lengths. So you can reignite your practice. Oh, and if you want some inspiration for lesson plans, feel free to dive into that yoga library. Oh, all of this for $695. There is lots of touch points within the program, and that allows you to be used. So some people come into the program, I don't really hear much from them in terms of voice messaging or email, but they're in there loving the self-paced study, and they will ask me a question on the community space when they need it. I've got other people who keep saying on their WhatsApp, my voice messaging WhatsApp, I really need to go into that self-study program, but can I just ask you this? Can I just ask you that? And they're really enjoying that type of connection with me. I've got people who turn up to every live coaching call. It's their priority. And I've got people who ask a question in advance and listen to the replay. I've got people who don't do the coaching calls, but are asking me questions in the community on WhatsApp. There's all these touch points, so you can make the program unique to you. And at $695, guys, or 6 payments of $125, this is an insane price for this offer. So much so that this is the last time, my darlings, that you're going to see it with this level of support at this price. When the doors reopen in the autumn, I'm being completely honest about this, that I'm going to rejig things around. Like if I was mentoring me and I was looking at my mentorship program, I would be, Amy, you've created this wonderful thing. The results you're getting are amazing, but you are over delivering and undercharging. That is what I would say to myself. And we do this, and often we'll naturally do this when we're very passionate about helping people. But I know, because I've told you guys this, and I see it time and time again, that for something to be sustainable, it's got to be an energetic balance. So yeah, come in now, basically, guys. Come in now at this level of support and this price. I haven't fully decided the combination for the autumn, but as things are growing with this mentorship program, things are going to change slightly. So now really is the time to come in. So that's me talking about my mentorship program. This is largely what today's podcast is about. But I wanted to just finish actually with 2 little, like, if you're like, Amy, the mentorship program isn't for me, sounds great, but no thanks, right? I just wanted to give you 2 pieces of advice based on my experience of my mentorship program. I created this program from a place of being really pissed off, for being angry. I have been training, mentoring, working with yoga teachers since 2017, initially through my training courses. And when COVID hit, I started training online, and that training online involved a lot of working with teachers one-to-one. Plus I had a few people come to me and ask for one-to-one like business support. So I started definitely 2020 mentoring on a much more sort of like serious level, official level, and in a one-to-one capacity. And over that period of time, the same thing kept coming up. in my training, in my mentoring, in working with yoga teachers. And this was it. Virtually all of them, I can count the amount of men who've come into my training courses on one hand. All right. In fact, I can remember them all and I love them all very much. And I'm so grateful for them choosing me. But the vast majority of the hundreds of yoga teachers I've now worked with have been women. And this kept coming up. Great teacher, knew her staff had so much to offer the world in terms of her experience as a yoga teacher, but her experience of life had so much to give, was coming from a place of love, wanting to share the gift that is yoga and help people. And she was in this place where she was over delivering, full of self-doubt and not earning enough money. And it was really, really annoying me, because the more I kind of like was waking up to this and started looking into statistics around the yoga industry, I'm like, this is a multi-million-dollar industry. Okay, whatever statistic you want to say of what it's worth, multi-million-dollar. If we throw in the wellness industry, it's multi-trillion. So there's lots and lots of money floating around the yoga industry, the yoga world. And I am working with women who are yoga teachers, good yoga teachers, lots to offer the world, and they're struggling to make money. And this really, I'm sorry to swear, but this really pissed me off. It made me angry. I was like, damn, why, why do statistically, I think, is it for every pound a man earns in the UK, a woman earns 90p. For, I think, the percentage of billionaires globally, 12.9% of those are women. And I'm like, this isn't me hating on men. This isn't me saying that the men shouldn't have money. This is just me saying that it just should be even, to the point where I actually really believe if it was even, the world would be a better place. And I could have stayed in that really angry place of just blaming external circumstances, blaming the patriarchy, blaming the 1%, blaming all the men in the world that seem to have all the money. Oh, the yoga industry, the people are making loads of money in the yoga industry aren't even yoga teachers. I could have stayed in that angry place because, I have genuine reason to be angry. And instead of that, I started this podcast. I still get angry, by the way. I started this podcast and I started my mentorship program with the absolute dharma, with the absolute passion. So I turned away from anger to passion and love, that this is what I can do about this. I can't solve it all. I can't change everything about it. But my little contribution to this, to bring more money into the hands of women, is this. I'll start my podcast and I'll start my mentorship program. And this is my why, right? Your why is so powerful. Why am I doing this? What am I being driven to do? And if I don't do this, if I was to go, you know what? I'm just going to stop the podcast tomorrow and I'm just going to close down the mentorship program. That would be so wrong for me, because now I'm not fulfilling my why. I just couldn't do it. And this is why your why, and not getting, we're going to have moments where we're hacked off about something, where we're frustrated about something, where we're angry about something. You've got to allow these emotions to be there. But instead of staying in them, instead of focusing on them, we turn ourselves away from that to passion, action, love. What have I got to do something that would make a difference? That's why I started my mentorship program. That's why I really want you guys to come in. And then the second point I wanted to make was that you sometimes will, I think I've spoken about this already, but sometimes you will create something and at first it kind of feels like it's fallen on deaf ears. This was me last year. Last year I created this mentorship program with everything that I've just told you about. And I won't lie, guys, it was a really, really hard sell, like to the point where I'm like, I felt like I was shouting into the void and I felt like I was banging my head against the wall. I could sell my pregnancy, postnatal and yin yoga teacher training courses, no problem. The yoga teachers understood what they were, understood why they wanted them, and understood the outcome. The mentorship program was like, it communicating why they needed it and the difference it would make was really, really hard. And I could have easily at several points in 2022 gone, this isn't needed. I've created something that isn't needed, or I've created the wrong thing. But I was in that passionate place, in that this is needed, and I'm going to do something about it. And I'm going to stay here in this vibration with complete and utter faith, despite current reality, that this is going to change. And here I am now. I'm into my second launch. There are currently, have a think, there are currently 12 people in my mentorship program. Actually, I can just let you into a little secret that following the live call yesterday, a few people who were already in my world messaged me, and they're already in. So there's already more people coming in, and I'm now just staring at the sea of possibility. Talk to you guys about this all the time, where I can see this growing, where I can see this coming, not just this 6-month program, but a community, a movement of yoga teachers, all together with the same energetic vibration. That is, we are needed, we are valued, that I'm passionate about yoga. I'm doing this to help people, but it is totally okay for me to take my passion, take my skill set, and make as much money as I choose to. All right, my darlings, come on in. Now really is the time. The doors close on Monday, the 5th of June at 9 p.m. Next time when they open will be the autumn, and the offer, I mean, it's still going to be amazing. It's still going to be transformational, but the offer will be slightly different. So now is really the time to come on in. I'll put the link to the mentorship program on this course notes. If you do have any questions, please just ask. And if my mentorship program is not for you right now, that's cool, right? I really hope my story of it, my passion of it, my use of anger to do something, to change things, right? I really hope that inspires whatever it is you've come here to do, to take the same action, because the light in me shines in you. This is available to us all. All right, my darlings, I'll see you all next week.